If you're running a Shopify store and you're trying to figure out whether you should be using Meta ads or Google ads to grow your store, then this video is for you. I know exactly where you're at right now. You've been researching this for weeks, if not months, and you've watched hundreds of YouTube videos. Half the gurus are saying you've got to do Meta ads, and the other half are saying you've got to do Google ads, and you just don't want to choose the wrong one because you don't want to blow money on the wrong platform. Luckily for you, I've spent millions of dollars on ads across both platforms. I've scaled stores to 7 figures with Meta ads, and I've done the same with Google ads. They both work, so I'm not a fanboy of either platform. You see, the problem with YouTube gurus is that they'll only recommend an ad platform that they know best, whether it's good for you or not. And I've seen people burn thousands of dollars on using the best platform and it doesn't work. And that's not because the platform has a problem. It's because it's the wrong one for their business. So you don't want to look for which ad platform is best. You want to look for which ad platform is best for your store. And to decide that, it comes down to answering a simple set of questions. And if you answer the questions honestly, within 60 seconds, you're going to know whether to go all in on Meta or all in on Google. And in today's video, we're going to go through those exact questions together so you can stop searching and you can start winning. But before we go through those questions, it's important to understand the differences between the two ad platforms. Let me draw this out for you. Now, ad platforms can be split up into two different categories. The first one is to create demand. And that means that the ad platform's job is to get your product in front of people and create demand for it. The second ad platform is what we call a capture demand platform, where someone already has an understanding of your product and they have an intent to buy it, and the ad platform's job is to capture it. Okay, so we've got create demand and we've got capture demand. And Meta and Google fall into one of these camps. So Meta ads falls into the create demand bucket, and Google ads falls into the capture demand bucket. And the reason for that is one platform is interrupt marketing. It's where it puts your products in front of people who might be interested but are not actively looking. Whereas the other platform puts your products in front of people who are actively looking. Now, let me break it down a little bit further for you so we can really understand it before we get into the questions. There's a framework that we talk about, which is called the stages of awareness, and there's 5 stages. Now, these stages of awareness are the stages that your potential customers are in when we're advertising to them. So we want to make sure that we're choosing the right ad platform to present our message and our ads to our prospective customers when they're in the right stage, okay? So let me take you through what they are. The first stage is the unawareness stage, and this is where someone is unaware that they have a problem or a need or a desire, okay? So they're completely unaware it's the biggest audience. They're even unaware of your products, are unaware of everything. The second stage that they go through is they might be aware of the problem or the desire that they have, but that's all they know, okay? They're like, oh yeah, I know I need this thing, but that's it, okay? Then they move to the next stage where it becomes a solution aware stage. They're like, I know I need this thing, and there is a way that I can solve this problem or this desire that I have. The next stage that they are is they're product aware. They've gone from, okay, I know there's a solution. Now I found a product that has that solution that fixes that problem that I was not aware of, okay? And then they go through another stage, which is the brand aware stage, where they're aware of the brand that is gonna solve that problem or desire they have. And so what our job as marketers is to drive them from the unaware to problem aware to solution aware, to product aware, to your brand aware, okay? Now, if we think about these stages, is we need to talk to customers at each one of these stages at the right time. Now, the 2 platforms we talk about in Google and Meta operate at these stages at different points. And what we want to do is we want to think about our product on where are we going to actually talk to our customers at this stage. So if we think back to this Venn diagram here, create demand is where we put our products and our brand in front of people who are not aware or not ready for it, and capture demand is people who are aware. So if we split these stages of awareness up into 2 areas, we can say that people here, we want to create demand because they're unaware and they're problem aware, so we're going to create demand of the problem. And then on this side, we can capture demand, okay? So if someone is already product aware or problem aware, then we want to capture that awareness that they have. So that means that if we're operating in this stage, this is Meta and this is Google. And we have a slight crossover here, so we can use either platform if we're sitting in that stage. So now that we know the difference between creating demand and capturing demand, and we know the stages of awareness that our customers might be in, we can now determine, does our product sit more in creating demand or does our product sit more in capturing demand? And to do that, we're going to answer a simple set of questions. So I've put these questions into a little checklist, and you can download this checklist below, but we'll go through it together and explain what each question means to you. So the purpose of this checklist is to determine, should we operate in create or should we operate in capture? Or in other words, should we be in Meta or should we be in Google? So let's go through these questions. Let's do create first. So the first one is, does it take more than 5 seconds to explain your product. And what I want you to do here is I want you to tick yes or no. We'll tick yes. Is your product visually appealing? So if someone looks at it, does it stand out? Is it a scroll stopper? Click yes or no, depending on what you've got. Is your product transformation focused? Like, is there a before and after? Do you need to explain to someone that if you do this, this is going to happen, like skincare or, weight loss or something like that? Let's just say no. Does your product use a unique mechanism? Is it something different that no one's ever heard about? Is it something that is unique? It's an innovative product. If it is, then we go yes. If it's no, then we go no. Is your product brand part of a new category? So are we something completely innovative? Is it something brand new that no one's ever heard of? If it is, we tick yes. If it isn't, we tick no. Is your brand part of a hyper-specific niche? Is it so niche that only a small portion of people know about it, but the people that do absolutely love it? I'll give you a little example. We have someone in our e-commerce academy, and he sells these custom-made marble 8-sided dice with numbers and logos and things on them. And that dice is really specific to a Warhammer game. And the only time you have it is if you have this custom Warhammer board. So it's a hyper-specific niche, but the people that are into it are all in on it. So that would be hyper-specific. Whereas if you just sold coffee, that's not that specific. It's very broad. So if you're in a hyper-specific niche, we'll tick yes. Does your product require a behavioral change? So if someone is used to doing something one way, are you changing the way they do that to sell them your product? Another example of this is our coffee product. Most people make coffee at home with an espresso machine or an instant coffee. Whereas if they want to use our coffee product, it's pouring it out of a bottle and you have to measure it and do all these other sorts of things. So it's a behavioral change. So in our case, we would do yes. And the next question is does the economics of your product, does your product have a high lifetime value or a high return customer rate? Do people buy this more than once? Do they keep coming back to you? If they do, we say yes. If they don't, we say no. And then the final question is your brand unknown? If it is, we'll tick yes. If it isn't, we'll tick no. So if people know about it, we go no. If they don't, we go yes. So now what I want you to do is work out, do you have more yeses or more nos? If you've got more yeses, we're going to tick yes. If you've got more nos, we're going to tick no. Okay? Now let's do the same thing, but we're going to do it for the capture channel. So we'll head over and we're going to go through this. Is your product easily searchable? So do you have a term that someone can easily search for, like black cap, Apple Pencil? If you do, we're going to tick yes. Does your product have high existing search volume? So we can use Google search reports to find out the volume of searches for your keywords and see if people are actually actively searching for your product. If they do, we're going to tick yes. Is your product self-explanatory? So if you're at a barbecue, or you're talking to someone and you said, I sell this product, they'd know instantly what it was. Okay? Self-explanatory. You don't need to explain this product. If it is, we know we're going to tick yes. Is your product within an established category? So do people understand exactly what it is? We've got drink bottles here, that's a standard category, so we'd know it. But if I did like a liquid coffee concentrate, that's not a standard category, so it's not searchable. If it is, we tick yes. Is your product a utility? Does it help with someone, like a spanner or a screwdriver or a camera or something that actually helps someone with something? Is it a utility? If it is, we tick yes. Is your product commoditized? T-shirts, underwear, things like that. Is it a commodity? If it is, we tick yes. If it's not, we tick no. Is your product a known product type? We talked about drink bottles, hats, T-shirts. Do people know what it is? If it is, we tick yes. Do you have or do you sell established brands? So do you sell other people's products or do people know about your product and they'd actively search for it? We tick yes if it is. Now, does your product have a low lifetime value or a low return customer rate? What I mean by this is, do they just buy it once and never come back again? If that's the case, we tick yes. And now we do the exact same exercise that we did before. We either tick the primary channel or the secondary channel. So the one that has the most ticks is the one that we tick. So if we zoom out a little bit here, now just for the exercise, I've chosen both. But if I had more ticks in this one, this would be my primary channel, which I'd be a creating demand. If I had more ticks in this one, then I'd be a capture demand. And then by doing that, you now know whether you're going to be using Google ads or whether you're going to be using meta ads. So you're going to lock that in. And now you know that's the channel that is the best fit for your product, the best fit for your brand, the best fit for your business. And it's the channel that you want to go all in on. So the next stage is to learn that platform by following one of these 2 videos.